What if you had a superpower? One that lets you handle those moments when your emotions feel like they're just taking over. Well, today, we're going to unlock that exact technique. A really simple way to get back in the driver's seat and find your calm.
We all know this feeling, right? One minute you're doing just fine, and the next, bam! A huge wave of emotion just hits you, and suddenly it feels like it's in complete control. So let's break down what's really happening here. Have you ever been there? So angry or frustrated that you're just stuck? Maybe someone said something that just felt so unfair, or a plan you had completely falls apart. That feeling of being so overwhelmed you're almost frozen, yeah, that's a 100% human experience. And here is the first and maybe the most important thing you need to remember. Feeling this way is not a sign of weakness. Not at all. It is a completely normal part of being a person. The goal isn't to just stop feeling these things, it's to learn how to navigate them. Okay, so here's a big idea that can honestly change everything. Emotions are what we call transient experiences. Think about it like this. They're basically visitors. They show up, sometimes without knocking, but they don't move in permanently. They will pass. Just remembering that's your first step to getting back in control. So, if emotions are just temporary visitors, how in the world do we handle them while they're here? The secret weapon, and it's so simple, is found in a single moment: the pause. It's all about creating just a little bit of space between that feeling and what you do next.
You see, when a big emotion hits, we have two paths we can go down. The first one is a reaction. That's that impulsive, knee-jerk instinct to just shout or argue or shut down. The second path is a response. And this is different. It's driven by choice. It's what happens when you give your brain just a second to catch up and actually think. And this isn't just some nice-sounding idea. There's actual science behind it. That tiny little pause, it actually helps strengthen your prefrontal cortex. Now, that's the part of your brain that handles stuff like decision-making and self-control. So every time you pause, you're literally giving your brain a workout, making it stronger and more resilient.
This whole process, it has a name. It's called mindful decision-making. And all that really means is making the intentional choice to stop for a second before you act. Sounds simple, right? But it is incredibly powerful.
Okay, so theory is great, but how do we actually do this in the heat of the moment? Let's get practical and break it all down into a simple, handy toolkit you can use anytime, anywhere.
It's really just 4 easy steps. First, you just name it. Seriously, just saying to yourself, okay, I am feeling angry right now, can take away a ton of its power. Next, you pause and breathe. A slow breath in for 3 counts and out for 4, it works wonders. Then, once you've done that, you can notice your body. Are your fists clenched up? Is your heart racing? And then, only then, after you're a bit calmer, do you choose your action.
And while you're breathing, here's a great mental trick you can try. Picture that big, intense emotion, like it's a giant balloon. And with every single breath out, you just imagine it slowly losing air, getting smaller and smaller until it feels manageable.
But here's the thing. This skill isn't just for you. Mastering that internal pause has a huge external impact, because the way you choose to respond, it creates a ripple that affects everyone and everything around you.
I absolutely love this quote because it totally flips our idea of strength on its head. Real strength isn't about having the quickest comeback or the loudest voice. Nope. It's about having the wisdom to pause and choose your actions with real intention. And it all starts right here, with your single, mindful choice in one small moment.
Because that one choice, it doesn't just happen in a vacuum. It affects the people you're interacting with, your family, your friends, your coworkers. And from there, it just spreads outwards. A calm, thoughtful response instead of an angry, quick reaction can change the entire feel of a situation, creating a positive ripple effect.
So what does that ripple even look like? Well, it looks like fostering empathy, because you're actually considering other people. It promotes responsible interactions. And, big picture, it helps build stronger, healthier communities, all while taking care of your own well-being too.
So let's bring this all back home to that final and honestly most empowering step, taking control and choosing how you want to move forward.
A huge part of this is the story you're telling yourself in your own head, repeating these simple phrases. I can stay calm. I can handle this. I choose my actions. It reinforces to your brain that you are in control of the situation, not your emotions.
And please remember, this doesn't take some massive heroic effort. It all just boils down to one breath,
One pause, one mindful choice is really all it takes to completely change the outcome of a tough moment.
So, the next time you feel that wave of emotion starting to rise, you've got the toolkit. You have the superpower. The only question left is, what ripple will you choose to create?